Hey guys, don't you just hate it when you have some rubbish but nowhere to put it? Well, so do I. But I was out one day and I found this. The man in the shop called it a bin, a bine, a binet, something like that. Anyway, apparently the idea is that it's this little plastic box and you press the button at the front and you can put your rubbish in there instead of on your desk. Now, I've never heard of them before, but it seems like a good idea to me. Although there is one big problem with it, and that's this. You have to press this tiny, annoying little button at the bottom to open it up. The way it works is you press on the button at the front, that activates a lever. That lever then pushes up on the bin lid using this linkage here on the back. The linkage gets pushed up, which in turn lifts the lid. It's a neat little system, but it takes a surprising amount of effort to press the button in, and that's a surprising amount of effort more than I want to put in. So I'm going to make this automatic, which I'm certain has never been done before. So, how are we going to do it? The thing that this system reminds me of is a train. So we have the bin, which has a lid that pivots, which is attached to a stick, which is attached to a lever, which pokes out the front. What we can do is make a system a little bit like a steam train. In a steam train, linear motion is turned into circular motion where the train stick bit attaches to the wheel. The train stick bit moves forwards and backwards, which in turn turns the wheel. Why no, I cannot draw. I threw together this little demo unit. You can see that when the stick moves up and down, the wheel turns. That means that if we turn the wheel, the stick will move up and down, and we turn circular motion into linear motion. To achieve circular motion, I'm going to use this stepper motor from my old 3D printer. Now you might be wondering why I'm going to use this, as at first glance it doesn't seem like the best choice. It's because I already have this and I don't want to spend any money on this. So first we need to find a place to mount the motor so that it can spin the wheel, which will be attached to the bin stick then. I decided that this space at the bottom would be good, so I got my Dremel out to remove these little lips so that the motor would fit. And as you can see, that went perfectly well. So now I had a perfect place to mount the motor. The next thing I did was model up a quick prototype which consists of a small wheel that attaches to the motor and a stick that I taped onto the bin stick thing. That connects to the wheel with a bolt so that it can pivot. And it works almost every time.
There we go.
So all we had to do now was test it on the bin. I'll tell you what this project reminds me of. A car. I think the obvious solution is some kind of gearbox and a rack and pinion system to move the bin stick thing up and down. Obviously part of the problem is the motor. It simply doesn't have enough torque to move that lid by itself, something that I think we can all agree any idiot should have been able to work out. The motor now turns a gear, which turns a bigger gear, which turns an even bigger gear. The final gear then meshes with the rack, which will be attached to the bin stick thing. This has the effect of massively increasing the torque applied to the rack, so even this tiny, puny motor can move something with a lot of weight. And that looks a little like this. You might be wondering why this sticks out the side, not going vertically with the motor being down at the bottom like before. That's because I didn't think of that until recording the voiceover. Now all I had to do was add a sensor to open the bin. I went with an ultrasonic distance sensor and I made some little lines for it to sit in. And now you can see that it works perfectly. When you get near the bin opens. How great is that? It's an absolutely flawless system, unless you need to film it, obviously.
I can't fill the f***ing items.
And the best part is that it only looks quite like a bomb.